oil. So now let me ask you about Mr. Zurikot's company. If, in fact, Mr. Zurikot's company paid a kickback to the Iraqi government in order to obtain this allocation, would you be troubled? That's my question.
Yeah, it's a good question, and will you allow
will
you allow me to answer it
I'd
seriously?
be happy to, yeah.
Seriously, not in a yes or no fashion, because I could give you a glib.
Providing you give us an answer, I'd be delighted to hear it.
Okay. Here's my answer, and I hope it does delight you. I opposed the Oil for Food program with all my heart, not for the reasons that you are troubled by it, but because it was a program which saw the death, I'm talking about the death now, I'm talking about a mass grave of 1 million people, most of them children, in Iraq. The Oil for Food program gave 30 cents per day per Iraqi for the period of the Oil for Food program. 30 cents for all food, all medicine, all clothes, all schools, all hospitals, all public services. I believe that the United Nations had no right to starve Iraq's people because it had fallen out with Iraq's dictator. David Bonnier, your former colleague, Senator, whom I admired very much, a former chief whip here on the Hill, described the sanctions policy as infanticide masquerading as politics. Senator Coleman thinks that's funny, but I think it's the most profound description of that era that I have ever read. Infanticide masquerading as politics. So I opposed this program with all my heart. Not because Saddam was getting kickbacks from it, and I don't know when it's alleged these kickbacks started. Not because some individuals were getting rich doing business with Iraq under it, but because it was a murderous policy of killing huge numbers of Iraqis. That's what troubles me. That's what troubles me. Now, if you're asking me, is Mr. Zurikot in some difficulty, like all the other companies that it would appear paid kickbacks to the Iraqi regime? No doubt he is, although it would appear he's quite small beer compared to the American companies who were involved in the same thing.
Now my question.
That's what I told you. What troubles me.
I'm asking you, would it trouble you? My question now that you've given us your statement about your feeling about the Oil for Food program, my question is, would you be troubled if you knew that Mr. Zurikot paid a kickback in order to get an allocation of an oil contract? That's a very simple question.
It's Mr. Zurikot's problem, not mine.
It would not trouble you.
It's Mr. Zurikot's problem, not mine.
And so that if a kickback, which was illegal under international, now you may not agree with the UN, but that's the international community that you're attacking, which is fine. You're entitled to do that. You're entitled, and I'll defend your right to do it. But you're attacking a UN program, which is your right to do, which was aimed at providing humanitarian assistance to try to alleviate the problems that the sanctions provided, which is your right to do. But my question, which you are so far evading, is, would you be troubled if that UN Oil for Food program was being circumvented by the kind of kickbacks which were taking place and being given to Saddam Hussein in order to obtain allocations under that program if Mr. Zurikot participated in that kickback scheme which violated the UN sanctions? You may not have agreed with it, but it violated the program. Would it trouble you if he violated that UN program in that way? That's my question.
Senator, there are many things.
I know other things trouble you, but can you just give us a straightforward answer? You've given us a long explanation of other things that trouble you, which is your right. Now I'm asking you whether that troubles you.
It troubles me that it might put him in difficulty. It troubles me that it might now lead to a prosecution of him. It troubles me that this will be further smoke in the smokescreen. But I, root and branch, opposed this Oil for Food program.
There's a lot of things you oppose, but you don't believe should be circumvented in illegal ways. Isn't that?
Well, please, Senator, you supported the illegal attack on Iraq. Don't talk to me about illegality.
Sorry about that. I didn't. But that's beside the point.
Well,
that's beside the point. You're wrong on your facts.
I'm collectively talking about the Senate, not you personally.
Well, it's okay. That's all right. Let me go back to my question. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved in
Why not? You want
No.
to talk about illegality?
No.
You launched an illegal war which has killed 100,000 people.
Let's try.
You want me to be troubled about?
No, I
somebody
want you to
paying a
answer.
kickback?
I want you to answer questions which are fairly
All right.
put and directly put
All right.
to you.
All
Now I'll ask you two last questions. If Mr. Zuricot's contributions to Miriam's appeal came from the sale of oil, or his share of a sale from oil, which he was able to obtain because he paid a kickback in violation of the UN program, would that contribution trouble you? That's my question.
Well, Senator,
if you can't give a short answer.
I'll give as short as I can, and I appreciate your fairness in this. Fundraising for political purposes is seldom pretty, as any American politician could testify. I took the view, I can be criticized for it, have been criticized for it, that I would fundraise from the kings of Arabia, whose political systems I have opposed all my life, in order to raise funds for what I thought was an emergency facing a disaster. And I did not ask Mr. Zuricot which part of his profits from his entire business empire he was making donations to our
That wasn't
campaign
my
from.
question. My question
Well, it
was,
is-
my question is, would it trouble you if you found that out? And
Well-
it's okay. You're not going to answer it. It's clear
All
to
right.
me. I want to go to my next question.
All right, all right.
You're just simply not going to answer it. I will say, American politicians who find the source of money after it's given to them is troubling. When they find out something they didn't know afterwards, frequently will, and hopefully I think always, but at least frequently, will return that money, will say they disagree with the source of the money. Hopefully all of us will do that, but whether or not we all live up to that standard. You clearly do not adopt that as a standard for contributions to Miriam's appeal. You're not going to look at the source of the money. You're just simply going to accept the money, and you've made that clear. I want to just ask you about Tariq Aziz.